How's everyone doing this morning? Yash, how are you doing?
Excellent. This is a pretty nice sunny morning. Like it.
Sarika, how is it? Looks like you are situated somewhere in a nice place somewhere.
In Italy.
Italy, okay, that's great.
It's like Greece.
Yeah, it looks more like Greece to me, but I will take Italy. uh, and Manish, how are you? Looks more like Greece to me.
Sanjay, thank you. I'm good. I'm good. I was just making sure that I like on the Facebook so people can watch us live on the Facebook.
Yeah, we are doing live streaming on Facebook as well. Yeah, so it should, if we are all, if the Facebook is on, make sure you mute the browsers, otherwise it will start doing the feedback inside our meeting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Doing that. I'll be
Okay,
back.
so it's 11:30. We want to get started on time. Welcome everyone to our webinar today. It's going to be really engaging. We are four of us today. I'm Sanjay Dalal, the founder and CEO of Ogoing. Our webinar is co-hosted with Think AI. And let me introduce the Think AI team here, Sarika Goyal and Manish Bardia. Sarika, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. Thank you, Sanjay. I'm really excited to be here. I'm the project leader at Think AI, and I'm really looking forward to the webinar today by Yash, our guest speaker on RPA. Okay, thanks, Sanjay.
Thank you, Sarika, for joining. And we have Manish Bardia, the CEO of Think AI. Manish, how are you doing?
Sanjay, I'm good and glad to be hosting the RPA session with Ogoing. Looking forward to more in this series. And my name is Manish. Here at Think AI, I'm the president, and we work in the latest technology like artificial intelligence, RPA, business intelligence, chatbots. So yes, looking more for Yash to share his knowledge, and then thanks for joining.
Absolutely. I saw one of the messages on chat that they cannot see the video. Is everybody seeing the video, all our attendees? If you are, please give us a quick chat message that yes, you can see the video or not. Let me send out to, okay, so Anil replied, yes, we can see. Joyce is saying we can see. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation on that. Folks, these are tough times. Before we start our webinar, I want to do a quick, 10-second silence and a prayer for everyone who has been impacted by the coronavirus, the COVID-19 pandemic. Over 80,000 folks have unfortunately perished in our country here in the US, and almost 250,000 worldwide. These are challenging times, and we are fortunate to do a live webinar with you all today. But let's not forget, everybody's kindness, everybody's hard work, especially the frontline workers who are really working hard to keep us safe and healthy. And just wanted to do a quick, 10 seconds of, silence for everybody if you all join me. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So we have a really good webinar today with Yash Vakharia. Let me introduce Yash to you. I've known Yash over the last, I would say, almost 2 years now, at least, in Irvine. Met him actually at one of the Super Bowl parties hosted by Manish. It was a chance meeting, and I've since then known him, over the last few years. So it's great to know him. Yash Vakharia has extensive industry experience, with top Fortune companies, including Cognizant, J&J, GE, and Genpact. Importantly, he's a digital transformation enthusiast, if you may. Tremendous expertise in RPA, which is robotic process automation. And he's going to talk more about our main topic of the webinar today, cloud as well as enterprise apps. So he's the go-to, I would say, consultant as well as professional that you can go to for all three, RPA, cloud, and enterprise. But I asked Yash, what is something people don't know about? And I'm glad he shared with us. On the personal front, he's a fitness enthusiast. You'll see him doing yoga, but importantly, I guess once this pandemic is done, a lot of tennis. He's a tennis lover. Yash, you can find him on tennis courts in Irvine. So on that note, Yash, did you ever play professional tennis, or this is all for fun?
Mostly for fun, but I used to play professional tennis back when I was under 14.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was my state level number 3.
State level number 3, and on what state would that be? I'm curious. Now that you asked.
Gujarat in India. So that was back in the day when I was growing up in school.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Sanjay. That was a very lovely introduction. Loved it.
Thank you, Yash. The podium is yours, so we will have you share a few things about RPA. At any time, Manish, Sarika, or I will come in and ask you a question here and there. We want to make it interactive, Yash, and the same thing with folks here who have signed in. Really appreciate you joining us today. Thank you for doing that. And if you have any questions for Yash as he's sharing, his insights, just send them via chat or via the Q&A icon at the bottom of the screen, and we'll be happy to take your questions both during as well as after the talk with Yash. Yash, the podium is yours.
Thank you, Sanjay. So very glad to be here, and thanks for this opportunity, Sanjay. And we will be taking the audience through journey of introduction of RPA. But before we get started, just a quick example. Most of our guests are from manufacturing industry. I would like to thank everyone for participating. Let's look at a real life scenario where a purchase manager coming to office, checking out few reports, logging into 2-3 applications, calling his warehouse, checking for inventory report, and finally preparing an inventory report that shows what are his next tasks today. 30 minutes of the day, nice to-do list created. Grab a cup of coffee and get started. Flip it around. Let's look at with a different lens. 30 minutes before he's going to start his job, something on his laptop wakes up, goes to all those 4 systems, pulls out data, sorts and makes the pivot reports, makes the charts that he's looking for. Boom, 30 minutes done. When the person is logging in, the day is different for him. First half an hour of work done with insightful information ready on his fingertips. Wow. That's the power of robotics process automation. We'll see how it goes in. Let me share some slides that can help us take us through this. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I think we have already gone through some of the introductions here. So directly jumping into our agenda today, we'll go through what is RPA, why it is important, what does it bring on table, few use cases applicable to our situations, and we'll have some of the Q&A session dedicated time for that. So as we jump into this, what is RPA? It is a software program that automates repetitive manual actions, a full process or a partial process. It doesn't have to be, everything. It can be one part of a very long process. The key and most exciting part of RPA is it works across platforms and applications. It does not depend on let's say Excel, or it can log into ERP application. It can go to web applications. It can wait for human intervention, human action, once approved, it can get started over again, regardless of the platform and applications. It is also known as intelligent process automation or rapid process automation. Now, the moment robotics word comes in, people tend to, imagine a walking or talking robot, but it is not. It is not a physical computer, physical machine. And more importantly, it's not artificial intelligence or voice recognition like Alexa. Does it make sense?
But yes, if I may interject, I know that AI and ML can actually, sorry, artificial intelligence and machine learning can actually help RPA though, right? They can work in complement to each other.
Excellent point, Sanjay. So many experts in the industry think that RPA is a transitional technology that is helping us go from manual tasks and some of the work that is happening around in applications to more self-driven artificial intelligence where computers can take their own decisions. As far as I think, and my view is that this is a technology that is here to stay, coexist with AI and ML. It is collecting data for all those processes, and data is the key drivers for decision making for AI. Does it help?
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you.
So with that introduction, I would like to take it to the next step on why an organization should consider RPA as one of the strategies. If you look at it, RPA is one of the very critical, crucial technology today for enabling digital transformation. And digital transformation is enabled using multiple list of technology, AI, ML. RPA is one of the top 3 in that entire list. And the business case for RPA is so compelling today that each and every CXO is including RPA in their digital strategy for last 2 years and for many years to come. Although there are many aspects on what are the key benefits, I would like to highlight 3 major points. First of all, RPA brings immediate and lasting results in terms of cost savings, quick deployment, and error avoidance. We'll see that in detail in subsequent slides in the examples. Second most important point is that RPA, or if you talk about automations, it has been existing for decades. It's not a new thing that you go and automate something. But imagine most of the people were automating this in the past using, let's say, one application. If you want to automate something in Excel, you would write a macro to do that thing. An IT person would probably write a batch script that will, pick up the files, process it, and send it to the next. And limited fashion, it has been existing across the board. What RPA doing is, it is practically making this automation process centrally governed and independent of platforms and people. Say tomorrow, one of the person leaves with his laptop, that Excel sheet as well as the batch program that he had is gone. With RPA, it is centrally governed under your control, and it is here to stay. You can use it as a strategy across the organization, either centrally or distributed. And third most important point I would say is, it is elevating human tasks by eliminating some of the repetitive mundane tasks and giving the power of data-driven decision making in the hands of our employees. So absolutely compelling case for RPA. No wonder It is growing leaps and bounds. The percentages are in 50s and 60s consistently every year, this market growing. Let's look at some of the use cases where it is being used and most popular in the industry today. In terms of industry applications, they are absolutely every industry is using RPA for multiple things, but there are some common cases. I would like to touch upon the most popular ones. Primarily automating some of the legacy software. See, every company has made some investments over a period of time. Those applications become obsolete, but overnight they cannot change it. Overnight, not every application can go on cloud. So RPA comes into the picture to help integrate and bridge that gap between the legacy and older applications with the cloud applications. Data integration across platforms, as we talked about earlier. Let's say you need application data from Excel to another backend system. Data integration across platforms with certain limitations, RPA can help very quickly. Data entry, chair swivels across multiple applications, and automating multi-step business process.
So if I may interject, Yash, it sounds awesome what RPA can do for a business as well as an individual working at a company. I mean, is this more for managers, or it can also help like individuals, like let's say out in the field, or more like employees? I mean, where does it make the most dent, if you may?
Sure, Sanjay. In terms of who it can help in the organization, I would say at every level there is an application. Especially if you look at top level CEOs and CXOs -1, most of the use cases that we have seen in the industry is an automated report and dashboards. Most of the times, the leaders are dependent on multiple departments and waiting for their inputs before they can have insightful information. And many of this information are, available weekly or daily basis, and it can be automated with RPA process so that he or she does not have to depend on people to get this information. If you look at process level, when day-to-day tasks are there, in each and every person's, when this becomes a culture with the company, every person can come up with an use case, and we actually invite people to come up with the use case that we can demo and try to automate and take it to the next level of starting the automation journey.
Got it. Thank you.
So just want to drill down on one particular example to give more insight in terms of how we can automate and what RPA can offer. Let's look at an application where data is needed from a legacy application on the cloud, a CRM application. Contact information is residing in old legacy system, and sales users are using a CRM application on the cloud. Now, if you think about in no RPA era, in that case, most of the times IT would come back stating that, we need to build an interface. We need 2 developers for, let's say, 2 weeks, 1 month, and do testing, deploy. The same job can be done by RPA. Now we are talking about recording a step to log in to the older application. That's recorded step goes to the next level of entering the data to the next Excel sheet, complete the review, and post it to your CRM application. Every hour, every day, whatever changes happens, this bot can do it for you. And there is no code needed. We are talking about hours as compared to weeks of application helping you. So it does, in this particular example, it does preserve your investments into the older system. It does the data integration and also enables us to do it faster, quicker with compliance. Couple of more points here is there are integrations available with computer vision technology and document reading capabilities. And these are a couple of most used use cases across industry, especially if you look at manufacturing. If there is vendor payment needed, the vendor purchase order that comes in is automatically read by OCR. That is, here we are talking about the Elasti OCR integration available out of the box. And the document can be entered into an application by the RPA without human intervention. So that's the power we are talking about. Many other potential use cases and processes that can be automated. And we are looking for day in, day out, more and more use cases are coming up.
So Yash, one of the use cases or the most important one in manufacturing is BOM, or bill of materials. And, you know, for the manufacturer, you know, take an example like Tesla, right? They make amazing electric cars. So if they have a particular BOM for, you know, let's say making the next generation of cyber trucks, you know, going with the same example. I mean, how important that is, you know, from an RPA point of view. I mean, can RPA really make this very complex BOM for, let's say, procuring all the potential parts they need to launch their cyber truck on time, let's say 2022? I mean, how can RPA be even relevant in that?
Excellent question, Sanjay. And this goes back to our example of multi-step business process. So bill of material defines how many vendors you need to contact, what is the how many parts are needed, and the entire process goes from, you know, approvals, purchase orders, checking the inventory, multiple process. It's a multi-process step. The way to get started with RPA can definitely help here. The way to get started is there's something called disaggregation, process disaggregation step. That's generally the first step in RPA implementation. You look at the entire process, break down the workflow, and identify each and every step, which step is automatable and which step is not. Generally, what we have seen across the board, we give an automation index, and that index is what percentage of the entire processes can be automated. And it can coexist with certain steps to be still remaining the way it is. Certain steps may need human intervention, but maybe 50 to 70% process can be automated. And imagine the power of automation and the quickness with which you can do this automation. If you can automate 50 to 70% of your application, of your entire process, what benefits it can bring.
Great point, Yash. Thank you. Yeah.
So that's, I think you already talked about a little bit on how to get started with RPA with your question. That was a great segue, Sanjay. So I would say Power Automate brings to the table some of the key features to get started in a very, very short time at a very, very low cost. And in certain cases, the demos and proof of concepts are done free for the customer. Power Automate, as we have seen in most of these processes, there are Microsoft Word and Excel involved in terms of documentation. What Power Automate does is, because of its Microsoft product, it is deeply integrated, natively integrated with the entire ecosystem. Second most important point is, with any RPA solution, you can do a demo with one laptop, two laptops, but eventually you want to make sure the entire automation across your organization is hosted centrally. So you need a cloud hosting solution along with it. Best part about Power Automate is it comes along with the Azure support. And it is coming up with pre-built templates and multiple connectors. And these connectors help build the automation in the shortest possible time with maximum number of applications. And these are one of the few of the critical aspects of deciding which platform to go with for RPA and how to get started. And Microsoft has made it very easy for the customer. So that's where we can talk about any specific points or take some of the critical questions that they have come across.
Yes, this is Manisha. There was a question regarding an example when you were covering by Joyce. So I don't know if Joyce is able to speak, or that question or the example what you provided answers her question. So that was one of the question we had. If anybody else has a question, please type in. So the question was, can you give an example of the last bullet point? And I'm missing the last bullet point. So Joyce, if you can type what was your specific question, we can address that. But yeah, just while more questions are coming, wanted to reiterate that with Microsoft ecosystem and the ease of use on Power Automate, it's very easy to subscribe or try out the application. And yes, you had the slide, right? Like there are already 15 or 150 templates already available, something like that, to get started. So that becomes, yeah, if you just go back a slide. Right, so simple example, right? Saving your attachment to OneDrive or getting notification based on the certain task. All that can be automated, and these templates already exist. So yes, we have given a try and it's pretty good. But as Yash mentioned, it will be very easy for you to give it a try without knowing too much on RPA. You can right away go ahead and start trying.
Yeah, I think Joyce was talking about the multi-step business process and how you can automate with RPA. I think Yash mentioned that during the BOM process that we talked about, the bill of materials. But Yash, you can add to that. That was the bullet point that she was referring to.
Yeah, absolutely, Sanjay. As you mentioned, I think multi-step business process, and your question was absolutely spot on, where bill of material is one of those processes, which is multi-step, which requires human intervention, some of the external steps that cannot be automated, and some of the steps that can be automated. The beauty of RPA is seen in this example is that it can automate the entire process end to end across multiple platforms. It can wait in the middle for human intervention. And the process does not have to be 100%, all the steps needs to be automated. So that's where BOM is the process. One of the other processes, purchase order and accounts payable, automated check disbursement, reading of a document and entering in different systems. These are few examples where, especially for accounts payable, when document is automatically read and entered in the system before the check is dispersed, you actually need approval based on the amount. And it goes and waits for the human intervention of that approval. Then the next step of check printing is done before the payment is dispersed. So that's another example where it's a multi-step process, multiple systems, but RPA can automate 70% of this application.
Excellent. I don't think we have any other questions, so let's keep going and wrap up. Yeah.
I think one other thing I had in mind, Yash and Manish, you can both help on that, is the ease of deployment, right? For a small business or let's say a small manufacturer, is this rocket science? I mean, what is the ease of deploying an RPA system using Power Automate or something similar? I mean, are we talking about months here, years? I mean, what's the thought process?
Sanjay, that's the first question comes to mind for whoever wants to invest and get started. I would say it depends on what process we are trying to automate. It can go from individual process, like let's say I want to try it out on my laptop. Tomorrow morning, every morning I want one particular report, I automate it running on my machine. From there, it can talk about process of bill of material, where you have to complete the diagram of the entire process and identify which ones will go for automation and when do you want to do it. Individual steps in that particular process, recording and deploying, we are talking about 2 to 4 hours. But if you add up all these steps in a multi-step process, it can go for, let's say, 10 hours or 20 hours. But once we have identified the cloud hosting, which platform we want to go with, identifying individual cases and starting to automate, we are talking about hours and definitely probably a couple of days. It is not a weeks and months project or like an ERP where it can take 6 months.
Perfect. So I guess at this point, Manish, we can do a quick intro about Think AI and Going, and then do the poll, I guess, the survey. Sarika?
Absolutely. So, Yash, can you bring up yeah, thank you. I'll just cover that quickly.
Okay, let me go to the slide of thank you, please.
Yeah, we definitely want to make sure we get the survey done from participants.
Go to that Think AI slide, Yash, before that, number 20.
Number 20, okay.
And if you can just project that, and then we'll cover the.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so thanks everyone. Just 30-second on Think AI. We are on the all latest technology like cloud, artificial intelligence, RPA, business intelligence, and a lot of cloud to cloud integration scenarios like you can see. So any question, just reach out to us, and thanks for the opportunity. Go ahead, Sanjay.
Yeah, so Going, we have been doing webinars on Going and with small business owners for the past month now. This is our fourth or fifth webinar. So what Going is we are a business community. Think of Going as LinkedIn for businesses, and the focus is small businesses. We over 100,000 members now on Going. We are growing every day. Go to ogoing.com. That's and we'll put the link in the chat area, OGOING, and create your business profile and start sharing your stories on Going. It's very easy to use. If you can use LinkedIn or Facebook, we feel Going is even easier. So you'll love it. So go to Going and start sharing your business stories. Thank you.
Nice name, Sanjay. We can get started pretty quickly. Start going on.
Yes, what's going on? Thank you. Yes.
Yash, can we have a link to the survey as well on the next slide?
23, yeah.
Yeah, so that's our survey. We leave it for a minute or two to fill out. Let us know how we did so we can improve further.
Yeah, and you can just scan this using your phones. Just point your mobile phone directly onto this, and I guess that should launch it.
Excellent. So while everybody is doing the survey, I want to highlight there is a question from Nayar. Yeah, Nayar is here. So the question is, Yash, from a sales perspective, who is best persona, CFO, CIO, that would approach for an RPA POC?
There is no one answer to that question, Manish. It depends on the process that we are trying to automate. First of all, from strategic decision making, whether RPA is included in the company's strategy or not, generally it is coming from the top. Then individual CFOs would be interested in a lot of automations in their finance organization. And similarly, CTO or Chief Digital Officer would definitely be interested in getting many of the IT processes, bad jobs automated. So every department of the company have their powers. Depending on which business process we are looking at, what use case we are looking at, corresponding leader would be the right point of contact for taking the decision.
Yeah. Follow-up question I have, Yash, is should we talk to CIO, CFO? Will they know enough inefficiencies which can be addressed by RPA, or talk to bottoms up, managerial roles? Go bottoms up or top down?
I would say both, because when you go bottoms up, you have the influencers for decision making.
Yeah.
And strategic and financial budgeting is done from the top. So you will need help from both.
Okay, no, that's good. So just confirming, everybody saw the link, right? If anybody is unable to see the link or unable to access, let us know, because we want to enter you to the raffle and also the monthly raffle of the Xbox, right? So please fill in the survey. Let's see, any other question? We don't have it. Yep. So we'll just go to the last slide then.
All right.
You can stop the sharing, Yash. We can go back to the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to thank Yash here. Yash, really appreciate your time. Very valuable insights shared by you today. I know we have been prepping for this as well. So thank you for all of the time, not just today's webinar. We are really grateful for you. So thank you for doing that. Thank you, Sarika. Sarika, you wanted to add a few things? Yeah.
No, thank you. Thank you, Yash, again. That was so helpful. The examples helped me understand a lot of things about the robotic process automation. Especially love the manufacturing touch to it, and helping managers save their time and manual labor. Thanks.
Thank you, Sarika. Thank you, Sanjay. This pleasure is mine. And I think this is definitely a teamwork. Very valuable inputs that helped, bring out the right message for everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, just a quick shout out to all of you, Sanjay, Sarika, and Yash, for a great presentation. And also we have more events coming up in next 2 weeks. So I put the link for all the events. So please check it out, and then we'll see you in the next event.
Absolutely. We'll do a couple of more manufacturing focused webinars this month with Think AI and the team of Manish and Sarika. So yeah, look forward to the announcements. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.